versing Leviathan. Anytime I get to play against them, I'm going to love it because I'm going to absolutely shit on them.
A gente vai ter bom jogo, vai ser uma partida disputada. Também vai ser a primeira vez que o nosso time vai jogar junto em stage, então a gente vai ver como cada lida com o ambiente, as coisas.
They got Aspas, probably a top 3 player in the world.
To be selective. Nope, drops the first. Joey! He's dashing in, of course he is. Of course he is. Facing into the smoke!
Creo que 100 Thieves está fuerte. Creo que tienen un buen core. Metieron a Bustio, viene a ser campeón del mundo IGL.
You can always expect Aspas to play good. If common techs don't pick it up, if they're not playing to their standard, I think that team will really struggle. I'm very confident going against them.
Welcome back to day 2 of VCT America's kickoff, and it's time for our second match of Clout Day. It's a new holiday that we're creating here at VCT Americas. Hopefully you join us in celebrating it. Of course, we have Leviathan taking on 100 Thieves. Golden Boy here alongside Ender and Mimi as we break it all down, and I am stoked for this matchup because I've always been a big fan of Leviathan, even from when I was first introduced to the team way back when I came back into Valorant. So to be able to see this team, be able to see King back on the stage again, do their stuff, and then Booster on the other side, it's so exciting.
That's awesome, but I think what people care about is that they picked up Aspas, the VCT America's MVP last year, and Calm, a world champion. Yep. Leviathan does something that we've not seen yet in our international leagues, at least here in Americas, in creating a truly global roster. They picked up players from LATAM, from Brazil, and from North America, all to come together and create this all-America super team.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's not like, oh, we're putting it together and we just want to see how well we can do. No, this is trying to find all the best pieces that were on the market and turning them into an absolute powerhouse, which you absolutely have to be. Like, if you see Aspas on a roster, that is a powerhouse team immediately.
This was something that I was expecting genuinely in like year 3 of the league or something, not like year 2 to go like this diverse out of the gate, just because, well, you got a lot of players here that they came to the U.S. for the first time. English may not be their first language. They've been putting in that work and learning. So there's definitely going to be some growing pains here, but I think they're, without a doubt, the talent all across, it's all there.
Yeah, I mean, and you have to focus on the talent of Aspas being picked up. This is something very new for this guy, because his entire career has been defined by his time with Loud, winning Champs 22 with them. Going into last year, winning Americas with Loud. And now, yeah, he's the bird breaking free of the nest. Sadak or Saucy no longer there to help him out. He's now going to be on, for the first time, an English-speaking team. But no matter what adversity, what new situation you put him in, you can always expect this guy to be excellent.
I mean, yeah, just absolute superstar duelist. The potential chamber buffs coming as well. Like, put this man on an up. You are not going to find a better shot. It is so, so tough. He is on fire. And I think immediately, like, it was kind of an arms race, I feel like it had to be. As soon as that guy on the market, the fact that Lev picked him up is just so huge.
Yeah, I think any team would have been looking for this guy. Obviously, Loud most likely wanted to keep him, but he got this offer and has taken the risk now coming over to Leviathan. But like you mentioned, GB, that means that the pressure is on for this roster to succeed. You can't just pick up last year's MVP and not do well in the league.
Yeah, it is a tall order no matter how you slice it for him. And even then, they tried to, you know, I think that overall this Leviathan team came into the offseason, they wanted to make some big sweeping changes, and they did. But then there was one final change that they did at the last second that threw a lot of people off. But look, as a fan of the guy, I ain't mad about it. Calm is on Leviathan. A world champion has now rounded out this roster.
Everyone's first reaction was, what?
Or like me, 4K.
Yeah, and the second reaction is, let's freaking go. Calm out here with Leviathan. I mean, this is a guy coming off of the Champions win who just sees the map in a special way. Right, like, rumor has it, Calm is still flanking Summer. He flanked all the way. He flanked all the way onto this roster.
Legend says he's still flanking.
Second. No one thought it was coming, but Calm is now here, and you could not have asked for a better final piece of the puzzle.
And for me, I think this is us now looking at a Leviathan where they've reinvented their identity. Last year, it was all about owner's vision, the focus on this team that is is going to be hyper-structured, that is going to play a certain type of Valorant and try and do it to perfection. Now this is one where they are just going for the best players, and I'm expecting a lot more of a loose style, something very different from what we saw with Leviathan last year.
My fear,
that's
though,
still yet to be defined.
My fear, though, is that this could end up like Sentinels. Where
I don't believe
Which one?
The verse version that when they brought Pencata and Saci over and they were doing an international mixed roster. For sure. No, I'm not saying that this will happen, but I'm sure that's a thing that sticks in the back of their head, and they cannot allow that to happen.
I think that's fair, but what I see sort of a culmination of so much genius, right? Like the information Ospas is able to pick up with so much time over at Loud. Calm coming over from world champions, evil geniuses. Like, yes, everyone's going to have different opinions. They're all going to have different ideas of how to play the game. That might take some time. But you can't argue that the absolute wealth of knowledge at their disposal, at their disposal, is one of the best in the league.
And for me, I think if Leviathan is going to succeed, it will obviously be about the talent we've already talked about, but I think it has to be the year of King if they want to do well.
Yes.
This guy has proven that he can be a good IGL when playing in a system where a lot is built for him, right? Last year, it felt like Leviathan was picking from a strat book most of the time. Here, I think with this team, he's really going to have to show his chops as an IGL with a new coach, with implementing new players.
He's IGLing in English then?
He is.
I mean,
Which is also new.
That's going to be, like, I don't want to say, I'm not trying to be like Doomer. I'm just pointing out, like, that is always going to be a little bit of a hurdle out of the gate, right?
And I think that's something they're going to get over. The majority of this team, King, Ospas,
there could be some misunderstandings. There could be some misinterpretations of things. So those are going to be things I think people are going to have to look out for with this squad. But I'm still eager. I'm still freaking pumped.
The thing is, I think it would be wrong to go in with the idea expecting that to be a problem. This team has talked during the offseason that they're all fitting in well. There was an interview with Tex where he was mentioning he went down, scrimmed with them in Latin America, and felt like he was fitting into the culture, was comfortable with the boys, and that the team was actually doing quite well with calming in English. They haven't really played a ton in the offseason, or actually at all, so we haven't seen what this team has to offer. So I'm going in with this team is picking up a world champion and the America's MVP. You can't really come out the gate and doubt.
Yeah, I will say, too, the one thing I'm hesitant on is I don't want people to, if things don't go well immediately, to scapegoat that it's a communication problem. I want to hear that from themselves, too, because they do need time to build this together. It's a lot of new pieces coming together, and so often that is just the thing that gets thrown out. It's like, is that really the case? I don't know.
Yeah, we could talk about this all day, a little podcast here, but they have an opponent that we also have to dive into as well. We got 100 Thieves on the other side, a team that, look, we're not going to sugarcoat it. Rough start for this organization coming into VCT Americas. But when you look at the changes that they have made, it's a similar situation where you have to feel a little optimistic, especially where, hey, surprise, surprise, a world champion is on this team also.
Yeah, a world championship coach in Zix and Busio, the IGL of Evil Geniuses last year. What my hope is, honestly, very similar to Leviathan. I think these teams last year had quite a parallel where they got very set in their idea of how they wanted to play the game, got stuck in that, and fell apart towards the second half of the season. 100 Thieves, though, I think they have been stuck in that for much longer. It feels like this team has struggled with the same things, being too structured, having one idea, and falling apart when games get close, when the pressure is on. These players are, honestly, they're like used to losing at this point after last year. And what I am hoping is that Zix and Busio are coming in with the championship mindset. Like, what the hell, guys? Why are we feeling like we're going to lose every game? We just picked up the two players who won champs last year. We've got to come out and have that mentality reset.
Yeah, Busio and Zix, they're expecting to win. And I think it is so cool, especially when a team is struggling to find identity, to see in the offseason that coach plus IGL pair come and join a team, right? You had the reunion on Sentinels with John QT and Kaplan. We're seeing it here too. And what that says to me is those two people have a very similar idea of how they view the game. They wanted to come into this team and bring that and apply it to 100 Thieves.
I think they have to be a catalyst, the two to jumpstart a team that has been stagnant for so long.
I just find it also fascinating because we kind of talked about Ospas in this role of like, flying off on his own. Boosie's entire career was played, being coached by Potter. Like, they were together for such a long time. So in for Zix as well. So this is an opportunity for them to really establish themselves as big players here in VCT America.
Yeah, Boostio wanted a chance to prove himself away from all of that, because you know that Boostio, hard match to find someone that is better at seeing inside the server what the opponent wants to do. How do you find those openings as well? On top of just a ridiculous individual talent, he is finding kills from that role on top of it.
And for Zix, I mean, he's back. Last time he was a head coach, he was coaching League of Legends, 400 Thieves on that same stage, which is wild.
Can I bat chest for a second? I am sorry.
Tell us about this guy.
Zix comes from League of Legends, and this is
I've heard of
his
that game.
10th year as a professional esports coach. He got started back in 2014 with CLG. He took NA, the LCS, to their first international final up in MSI of 2015.
That's honestly
with
impressive.
CLG. Genuinely impressive. And then rounded out, like you said, the league career on 100 Thieves.
And you talk about them being kind of under Potter's wing, but what better way for a guy like him to switch over to coaching a new game than being under a coach like that? He's talked about wanting to kind of use that year as a jumping off point to now be able to again prove himself as a head coach. And I think both him and Boostio are bought into one idea that they are bringing to reinvigorate the Thieves.
From League to Valo, he's just like me for real.
It's exciting. It really is. We'll of course, dive a little bit more into that. But here's another funny thing too. It's also a culture change as well. Because there was some discussion on the internets about how loud Boostio is. Now, as a friend of Boostio, this guy, I can acknowledge that he is quite loud. So this is a great quote. Boostio is, without a doubt, the loudest player we have ever had on 100 Thieves across any title. I can hear him in the kitchen, the bathroom, the bullpen, in every meeting room, and in my office. Heck, maybe even in his dreams. He's loud when he's losing. He's even louder when he's winning. I love it. And that is a championship mentality.
Exactly.
And that is what 100 Thieves needed.
Yeah, I mean, again, going back to last year, 100 Thieves fans, I'm so sorry, guys. You've been trapped in, like, the pit of despair of the last 2 years of watching this team just stumble at the last hurdle over and over in similar manners. This is what they need to get the energy back.
Yeah, I am really looking forward to this team. And this is not even talking about the other additions, right? Like EU back at the top stage. He was competing back in Challengers back when NA was its own entity.
From making it on his own.
Exactly. He was right there with M82. Like, he has been right on the cusp for so long. Like, this is a team, while, yes, a lot of other people, I think, have stolen the show in terms of huge names that they have acquired. This team has put together a very competitive roster.
Yeah, it was almost like a quiet kind of formation of this, right? I mean, not as quiet because, it's Boostio. And there was
you don't forget, like, Asuna and Cryo.
And there was also a lot of drama coming out of all of that. But I think it's, healthy that 100 Thieves, the rest of the field kind of took a brunt of the noise, of the volume that was out there on the internet, talking about the rosters that they're picking up and whatnot. Whereas 100 Thieves, I feel like along the way, it was like, hey, we got Boostio, big, cool video, let's move on. Hey, let's move on. And like, I kind of feel like they need that. They need to just focus on the task at hand and get some damn wins. That's like, it's about time. And I think that this is really the roster to do so. And I'm also pumped. We talked about it a little while ago, but let's revisit the conversation with Zix again, because, I didn't know that. I actually was not privy to that information of him having such a tenured history as a coach in another esport. And I have also been in esports for a very long time. And you don't see that much, Ender.
No, it's so hard. And the fact that he went from, like, doing primarily head coaching positions and then saw the opportunity to come into Valorant and was like, okay, I'll step into assistant coaching. I believe he was also working with NRG very early on as well, before joining up with Evil Geniuses. And like you said, like, that is just showing, like, he had the drive and was willing to take that step down for a moment to go to the big stage. And the fact that he won a freaking world championship is unreal. The fact that it's 9 years after he was on an international stage and lost at the final hurdle, that he is there and winning it and lifting the trophy, it doesn't get any better than that. And now he's out on his own to lead from the front.
It truly is a Cinderella story across the board. And we're excited to see how this season pans out. Do want to let everyone know at home. Just want to keep it buck $1.50 with y'all.
Yeah.
All right, we got a little bit of a delay. We're trying to make sure we get this thing handled, and we want to just maybe entertain you for a little while. Okay, so stick with us, and we're just going to continue on. But hopefully, we'll be able to get the game going just in time so that we're able to dive into it, because I know everyone is eagerly anticipating it. But you got to do your due diligence. So let's continue on, though, and really, I guess
it might be a good thing if we keep the tech pause going. Then maybe we can flow straight into Pacific like yesterday. Just keep it like 24-hour Valorant going.
You evil woman. All right, well, let's go ahead.
Let's talk about 400.
No comment.
Just the silence in the corner is deafening. I love it. All right, well, let's continue to run through some of these players here because I'm excited to see Bang yet again on this team. It's good to have, I think he really found himself last year just trying to fit in with this squad, find what his identity was.
What is that
and
gamer pose?
I don't know what that is.
It's like, please take the camera away. I just want to play games.
Is he trying to shoo me away, or is he telling me I smell?
No, he was telling you, don't look at me, look at the gameplay. It speaks for itself.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's really good. That's so true.
I could just be like a little pro player translator sometimes. Just say what's really on my mind.
You're like a Luther from Key and Peele, you know what I mean? You're the anger translator.
Good taste.
What was he thinking in this clutch?
He was thinking, dang, they really stink at Valorant. They're not that good.
Let's get a new translator.
Thoughtful analysis there. I don't know if I'd want to hire you as my anger translator.
My bad.
But yeah, I mean, Bang though, back on the team again. What are we expecting from him this year based on what we saw last?
I think what we can expect is him to be good individually. My fear is that people who are fans of this team have gotten jaded to the players that are on the 100 Thieves roster. And I understand why. We have watched Bang and Asuna and Cryo lose a lot recently. And that's not great. But these guys still fundamentally are incredibly talented players. I think Bang's understanding of the controller role is at a super high level. He is incredibly talented when he's anchoring on his own. I think he has a great understanding of when to take risks on lurk timings, and his mechanics are just incredible as well. With a new system that can better enable him, I think we can see these players on 100 Thieves, who we have known to be good, but who have been kind of stagnant on the roster for a while, be reinvigorated by that championship aura that's
it's like a new car smell, right?
Yeah.
You get a new car and you're like,
quick little refresh.
It's nice.
Yeah.
Okay, we're back in a new vehicle. Let's go.
Now, my fear is that this brand new vehicle got loaded onto the racetrack next to the absolute powerhouses of Leviathan, of Sentinels, of Loud. Like, they got hot.
Talking about like a golf cart next to a Lamborghini.
They have a brand new sedan and the supercars next.
Hey, look, it's a great car. A lot of room in the back to carry.
So
the
we're
things
talking
you
more
need.
of a luxury sedan versus a
sports
car.
Up against sports cars. And like, that's not to say the sedan can't compete. Gas mileage, all these other things.
Maybe it's electric. I don't know.
Exactly.
Boogie, woogie.
You never know. But this is an incredibly hard group, and I think we need to judge mostly the play-in server as opposed to necessarily the results, because I think a lot of people would maybe not have them pegged as coming out super high of this group because of the talent around.
I mean, even if they win this game, then you play Loud. If you lose this game, you play. This is the hardest group far and away.
It is.
And I don't think many people are expecting 100 Thieves to win out of this group, which is why I think we do.
But we did decide that Boostio and Zix are expecting them to win.
They are, and that is good. They should be expecting themselves to win. But as fans, we shouldn't be expecting them to win in this group necessarily, because it's so hard. I think that this is a project where the kickoff matters a lot. Getting to Madrid, coming out there and showing your best right away is huge. But at the end of the day, it is a tournament, and you can get seeded into a really hard group like this. If they go out 0-2 in this group, that does not mean 100 Thieves is going to just continue on with what was happening last season. There is still lots of time for this roster to be great. Maybe it'll be now, maybe it'll be later, and we always have to remember that expectation, even when you're expecting greatness from these teams.
Brand new IGL, brand new coaching style. Like, it is going to be a improvement project over the course of the year.
But that is the same for Leviathan, right?
True.
They also have a lot to adjust, a lot to get used to.
And they have a new coach as well, right?
Both these rosters are teams reinventing their identity, and we have expectations from previous teams and from the talent talent on there. But at the end of the day, I think either of these teams, it could come down to how much time they've had to actually get the synergy up, what their read on the meta is. I think most of these matches in kickoff really can be just a 50-50 flip.
But you talk about the read on the meta. I don't know if anyone has like a very clear understanding at this point.
You're so real with that. Literally yesterday, like I felt like I was in an alternate dimension because I was like, we're not going to see Skye.
You guys were cooking. You were like, oh, we're going to see the Yoru
it's gonna be
and Gecko every game. Oh, man. And then we got Skye.
Different people looking at the changes can get totally different reads. And it also can come down to time. Even if you have a certain read or you want to play certain comps, it can just take too long to implement that. So you go back to old stuff.
Case in point, the Loud game that we just saw, right? Loud. I feel like they almost have the cushion because you expect them to do so well that they are allowed to experiment a little bit more in the offseason.
Yeah.
They come into the plan, they put in so much work to play that ludicrous comp over on Ascent. Like, we've had a lot of time, people. I hope that more and more teams have those sort of, wonky comps that they can run in here because I genuinely think, especially on maps that have been solved, like Ascent, you throw that in. Well, how many times have you scrimmed against 6 flashes on the other team?
Yeah.
Like, you just haven't. You're like, we had 6 months of practice and then we're coming in and we are playing against a brand new comp for the first time. Like, that's such a tough position to be in. I think more teams need to be taking that approach.
Yeah, and I think that's exactly because playing to the format is actually a really important part of this tournament. The play we see here at kickoff is going to be very different from the rest of the year because of the fact that you only need to win 3 games to go to Madrid, or for EG, win 2.
Oof, and if they're able
crazy,
to, which that will be, we'll cross that bridge when we get there, though. And in regards, though, to the changes and what we've been seeing, though, I mentioned before, Leviathan also making changes. They bring in Goat in the coaching role. Now, Owner is out. And I think there was a lot of discussion about what Owner was bringing to the team as far as, well, the amount of pressure, the work ethic, the grinding that they were under. But also, it was clear that they needed a fresh perspective on the game if they wanted this international roster to work.
There's only so many 5 a.m. cold showers you can take to actually change the tide of something. That was Owner's thing.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You're not familiar with his game, the grind.
I was not familiar with his game.
You know, 5 a.m. cold shower makes sense.
Shows that he's not a grinder, not even waking up at 5 a.m.
Sorry, I heard something very different. Never mind.
But respect to... Stop laughing.
Sorry.
Compose yourself, please.
Ay, Dios. Okay.
He's a lost cause.
God, I love you guys.
But I think there is such, a set idea of how Owner wanted to play the game and wanted the team to play. And I think at times we saw the best of that early in the season when they were implementing the plan to perfection. And then later we saw the inflexibility of that plan get the better of them. I think coming in with a new idea, with new coaching staff to instill new ideas is exactly what Leviathan needs this season. And the players have already talked that they're happy with what Gokut has been bringing in the offseason.
Let's be fair.
I would be concerned if they were making interviews talking about how it's going poorly. So I'm expecting a lot of positivity coming out of that camp, right?
Yeah.
But I don't disagree with you. I'm
surprised.
Wasn't 100 Thieves like doing like a meme talk where like everything's going terribly for us or whatever? It's like, it's a different approach. You have set expectations low, and then you can only go up.
That's true, man. That's what I've been doing my whole life. So I've been nailing it this entire time.
Great work.
Who knows? Maybe 100 Thieves could do the same thing. All right, guys. Well, we have a little cheeky poll for you guys to participate in if you want. Who you think's going to pick up the dub? Is it going to be 100 Thieves or will it be Leviathan? Go ahead and spam 100T or Lev in the chat right now, and then this like live thing is going to show up, and it's going to look like a tug of war, and then you guys are going to be like, I want 100 Thieves to win, and I want Lev to win. It's going to be great.
I think I'm going Lev.
You are? Oh, and you're in the
I
chat?
typed Ellie6.
Wrong show, Ender.
My bad.
Always on your mind. Using Zix, you can only think of Lev.
What do you?
Crazy.
So you're going with Lev?
I went Lev, and primarily for a multiple of reasons.
Okay, politician.
5 of them.
A multiple.
Yeah, a multitude of reasons.
Of reasons.
Namely A, then S, P, A, and S again. So really just 3 reasons, but...
What got me, man? I'm freaking cooked out here.
It spells Ospas.
Oh, I love comma.
I
Is it comma? Wait, what? It translates from Portuguese into some
Oh,
punctuation.
actually, I do not know off the top of my head right now.
I think it translates to champion.
Okay, I believe
to
that.
winner, to really good,
Okay,
to
but the
click
polls
heads.
are in, and people seem to agree with your.
Yeah, what do we get?
Swung the vote. Let's go.
Is it 69 again? I can't see.
It never was.
Golden boy.
It never was.
I'm only looking.
They call
who
him
you got?
Golden Boy because he's 5 years old.
That's true.
Can't predict against Sauce Boss.
Okay, so you're going Lev as well.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, I think it is very reasonable to predict.
Yeah.
They have the MVP of last year. They have a new system coming in. There is potential for it to go wrong, but I also just really like what this Leviathan core showed last year. King Mazzino, we didn't really talk about that much, but King is like the fraggingest IGL. That's a verb that exists.
Yep, well done.
Of all time. He's incredible individually. This is his chance to really show us what we've got. It's actually the like two best fragging IGLs against each other. That's a fun match.
That's kind of sweet.
King and Boosty.
I feel like we talked about like so many different players
there's just so many good matches.
Well, you know what?
In this one.
You guys are going with Leviathan, and even though I'm sure Papa Com is watching right now, so I just want to let you know, buddy, I'm really sorry. I'm gonna just balance it out a little bit.
And Boostio Mom.
I'm gonna balance it out, okay? And I'm gonna say I'm gonna go 100 Thieves.
7,000 people in just this chat, not even looking at co-streamers, and you're talking to one guy?
One guy, Papa Com, baby. And I am going with 100 Thieves because I believe in Boostio. Speaking of Boosty, here's what he thinks that he brings to the table for this 100 Thieves roster.
Yeah, I think the things I bring to 100T would be mainly energy, confidence, and just overall just being just like a happy-go-lucky guy. I think a lot of last year for them, from just an outside perspective, there's a lot of like defeat, a lot of just not a lot of energy, a lot of just negative emotions surrounding the team based off just what I saw on stream. And this year I just am trying to bring just happiness, a lot of energy, just make them feel comfortable. And I think if they're comfortable, they're happy, no matter what's going on, we could be a very good team.
Of course, Boostio there, always the confident one and always a positive guy as well.
Gecko?
Actually, yeah, I'm liking the hair. I'm quite liking the hair, but I think that overall this is just going to be a really awesome game to check out. And I know that for both of these teams, for all the fans at home, they have been eagerly anticipating this battle. And the good news is it's right around the corner because our coaches are standing by for maps, picks, and bans. So let's go ahead and have a listen.
Hey guys, welcome to VCT. This is going to be a map pick ban, and after the coin toss, it was determined that Thieves is going to be Team A and Left is going to be Team B. So Thieves, you have the first map ban.
Ban Breeze.
Breeze, okay. Left, your second map pick. Or ban, sorry.
We ban Lotus.
Lotus. And Thieves, your first map pick.
Pick Bind.
Bind. And your side, Left.
We attack.
Attack. And your second map pick?
Pick a Split.
Split. Thieves, your side.
Defense.
Defense. And your map ban, Thieves.
Ban Sunset.
Ban Sunset.
We ban Ascent.
Ascent. And that leaves the default map to Icebox. And Thieves, you have your side for that map.
Attack.
Attack. Okay. Let's go over again. So first map ban is Breeze, and then we Lotus. First map pick is Bind with Left on attack. Second map is Split with Thieves on defense. Third map ban is Sunset. Last one is Ascent, and the default map is Icebox with Thieves on attack. Good luck, guys.
Good luck.
Riot Games Arena, let me hear you! Coming to the stage, it's 100 Thieves! Go, lad!
know this is going to get super quiet if these are losing.
Matchup between two teams that are really looking to make a statement here in LA for the kickoff event of VCT Americas. 100 Thieves and Leviathan. Oh boy, I'm excited for this one, guys.
Both these teams ended last season in disappointment, but have made massive moves in the offseason. World champions facing each other on either side of that stage, but only one of them can live up to expectations in their opening match.
We'll see how they're able to incorporate new IGL on the side of 100 Thieves, and of course, Ospas into the roster on Leviathan is going to be so good. I also feel like we got a pretty awesome map pool here too. Yeah. Bind, Split, plus Icebox to finish. Get me there. I want to see our players on those changes. These maps are a lot of fun, and already some of the area, especially on Bind, where we've seen the most experimentation.
Absolutely. I'm hoping we get to see the man that looks like Gecko locking in the Asian. Maybe we get something creative from this side. But for me, this is a test of what is 100 Thieves' identity going to be. Have they found that? Because it really felt like they were lacking one for all of last year, that they were stuck in this loop. Can that championship mindset of Zix and Boostio get him out of it?
There's no way they don't have a cohesive game plan. I just refuse to believe that they don't come in with a clear idea of how they want to play. I've got full faith in that combo to really start the ball rolling strong for 100 Thieves.
But well, let's go ahead and see what we get for the Agent Select here. And Boosie living up to the hair. He's going to lock in the Gecko. And we got ourselves Fade, Brim, Raze, as well as Viper.
No, seeing the Fade plus Gecko, we saw that from C9 back on Lotus as well. A lot of information to go scouting out.
Harbor, Viper, Gecko, Sky.
Guys, I think we're going to have a good game.
Yeah, this is going to be fun. Some different ideas on implementation here. I loved when we saw Loud last year with these Harbor Viper setups, putting the Gecko into that. These double flash combos are so strong on Lev. Both these teams, I'm loving to see a strong idea to start the season.
All right, well, Riot Games Arena, I hope you're ready for our second match of the day. And let's go ahead and send it over to my fellow boomers in arms. It's Vansili and Riz.
An exciting game up ahead right now between Leviathan and 100 Thieves, Riv, because at this point you have two rosters that went through some major changes, bringing in two champions on each side. For Leviathan, you have Aspas that's coming in with Calm, and on the other end, though, you have that duo that the dev's been talking about, Zix and Gecko.
Yeah, so many changes, so many new ideas for these teams to bring out and show us. A lot of people thinking that Leviathan are one of the strongest teams coming out here right now with this composition that they bring to the season. 100 Thieves ready to work and build this composition, the new leadership, the new strats they may have from that world champion Boostio now IGLing on the squad. And this composition we have, let's take a moment to look at what Lev brings to the table with so much switching up. The Gecko in there, the Harbor, the Viper with double wall. They'll be fighting for quadrant after quadrant with what they're cutting off with those walls, forcing 100 Thieves to try and make some errors. Watching 100 Thieves a bit in the offseason, they were, I'd say, a very active team. And what I mean by that, on the defensive side, they were always on an extremity, always trying to figure out what you were doing. See if they keep that mentality now with Boostio in the mix. We start off now on Bind. Looks like our focus is just towards A here, as Lev has a pretty normal default defense here across the map.
This is the interesting one too. We're seeing Cryocells playing the Brimstone on top of that, but the execution comes in for Leviathan to start things off on the short A side. Cryo trying to smoke another one and falls back within the site. Hit by a flash, and Aspas gets that first blood, but Busio is there for the support in the back of the site. Wall comes up for that plant, and a defuse comes in, but should I say a plant comes in, it gets denied by a molly. Then unfortunately here, we're gonna have to try to pick it back up for Leviathan.
They're pausing. Is this a backstab? Yep, right into the TP. They switch it, but the anchor's still there. Bang is here. Been incredible on the pistol rounds.
The only thing he has is a wall right now. No molly, so has to play the off angle for the back. Works out for that first pick. And delays enough for the rotate from Asuna, but Dex is there with a tap in the face. A 2v2 with a plant on the B site.
Spike planted.
Pretty healthy here for Leviathan to get themselves into defensive positions. EU on 12 HP with Bustio at 39. The Ghost could help.
Known for these lurks, known for the backstab, the headshot onto Bustio. Ex-teammate down, EU alone, 1v2. The first tap denied by Palm with another Sheriff headshot, and Leviathan strikes first.
A great thought by Leviathan, heading straight up the gutter short A to get into sight. Great stop by 100 Thieves. They reacted really well to the strategy, and then as Aspas picks up the spike, they dip towards the other side and get just enough momentum with that plant down, and Com coming up with 2 on the Sheriff. See what their positioning is. Long B, and it's going to be just a bit of a lurk here from Com, as we would expect. Him or King really going around the map, being that solo to give the communication on rotations. A little push up here from 100 Thieves as well, as they take a little bit of safety in Hookah to try and meet Lev early.
Scout destroyed.
Ooh, King wants to pressure this U-Haul once again. They're gonna make, I feel like they make this a precedent. Let 100 Thieves know that U-Haul's gonna be something they want, and already a kill comes through towards Sand.
Yeah, 100 Thieves looking for some information. Now a triple swing right within U-Haul to answer right back. So on the B side, they were looking for that info. Bustio still slipped through. He knows the execution's coming in within this B side, but you have to be careful for Com once again, who's holding towards Spices. But Bustio has a perfect timing to potentially get one here. Plant did come in for Leviathan, and a rotate comes across from the Thieves. There's 2 falling back. There's that first headshot, trying to land that second one. Dizzy being thrown, doesn't get the hit, and Mazzino gets the pick. The rest of the players, though, of 100 Thieves are now rotating back within the B site from the back of the spawn. Smoke on the top, tap on the spike. The spray comes across, but it's not enough. 100 Thieves couldn't even get it halfway, and the sprays have been perfect for Leviathan.
2 Phantoms coming into this round as well, only losing King and Tex. So none of the big weapons really fall to the wayside here. And yeah, Leviathan get out of that one very smooth. Almost 2 away for the ult on Tex here as they're picking up the frags. The plants as well, it seems like that's been in the hands of Tex, so they can get Thrash up as soon as possible. And Aspas doing work here to bring up that showstopper pretty soon.
1 enemy remaining.
The Leviathan pushing forward really until they're finding something to push back. They take that fight and continue to go. Quick tech pause coming out.
You can't say quick yet. You can't say quick yet.
We're hopeful. We're hopeful.
Could have said a lot of quick on that first map, though, the first series with Loud playing. But yeah, definitely looking at the last 2 rounds for Leviathan, though. It's been looking pretty good on what we're talking about, the aggression that was coming out towards Sands on the last 2 players from Bustio. And I think that was Bang moving in towards Sands. A little bit of a change of like what Zix and Bustio are trying to bring to the table for this roster as well for the Thieves. I mean, they were talking about how even everybody on social media and also in the Twitch chats and on Reddit were saying how they were such a passive defensive team. And what they're trying to do and elevate a little bit more this time is to try to elevate each other to make plays. And how can you assist within these plays? Be more confident and work those fundamentals behind that.
It's also to, you know, push the agent pools a little bit for each other. We're seeing Cryo's first ever competitive game on Brimstone, right? So they bring that in. Asuna goes back from Harbor in the offseason some to see what that would work out like to again, the Rays. So Asuna can go in, and we see that old school Asuna. We remember when he just likes to make everything his playground and go ham. So yeah, they're definitely pulling a few things back into the mix, but trying some things, which is really, really cool to see.
Just as a quick update, sorry here, Rick. It looks like it's an in-ear issue that we have for one of the players, so we'll get that fixed ASAP. But I do like the idea that you have Cryocells playing his first Brimstone to actually continue on your point here as his first time playing Brim ever within the VCTs. And we were also criticizing Cryo last year as being more of a passive opper. Like the chamber meta worked out very well for him, but when you're playing a Brimstone, you have to stay back and try to smoke a little bit more to assist your teammates. Now you could actually get your smokes out and still potentially play the op on defense as well, and allow somebody like Asuna to just pop off and create that space on those retakes. So I like the idea behind it.
Is he a lineup Larry though? That's the question. We'll have to see the post plants, because this team actually has a pretty disgusting post plant from 2 members for 100 Thieves. So
and on the same thing for post plants, you're talking about deniability, as we saw, like the lineups already came out from the snake bites from Bang to deny that plant out from the wingman. So there's already some tastes out of what 100 Thieves are currently doing that you could potentially still switch gears if you want to, playing passively and use that deniability with the utility, or also trying to play that and switch it across and on the other end and pick up the pace if you want to.
Absolutely. Just waiting to get back in on the audio issue. So far, we've seen Leviathan focus on short. They're really not giving Shower too much love. They've really held the B long connection, or sorry, B long area pretty well. I wonder if that's to understand if 100 Thieves is trying to get any of that info down long to then make a better decision across the map. Right, if you are seeing something at long, you always have to consider there's still a lurker, there's still something. So Lev's actually happy to kind of show themselves right away and start the fight.
And you're talking about those lurks. I mean, Com did a great job in that pistol round, and you know that's not going to be something that's unfamiliar for 100 Thieves as Boostio again. His old IGL could definitely start calling that stuff out, and it could start. I mean, you even see Boostio. He was the one that was flanking behind on that second round in that eco. So there's probably going to be some mind games with these 2 ex-EG teammates going head to head. But at least let's talk about Leviathan on the other side, though. There's been some questions around this roster too, as on paper there would probably be the best team in the Americas right now for the VCTs, arguably, if not one of the 2 teams to qualify here for Madrid because they have a superstar roster. But then they're like, oh, how is it going to look for synergy? How is it going to look for
Well, they didn't lose a map at Superdome, right?
That's the other thing as well. So there's already a great start from that. But Superdome, they're also playing with Nas, where in the past, so Com is like coming in last minute, and you want to see how he kind of fits in. And so far, it fits in very, very well. But back to the language barrier. I mean, we were just listening, we were checking out some interviews with Aspas, and his English is actually quite damn good. So I don't think there's going to be any issues whatsoever in how everything's going to be called out for each of these teammates. And I think it's still an uphill battle. And it's quite surprising looking at this series that I'm seeing 100 Thieves as the underdog in this game.
Yeah,
It was not the story last year with Leviathan having a drop.
Quick touch on your screen here. You can see they're switching out the headphones. We know how long that takes at home. We got to get down on the cables, the cord. So that's all they're doing, getting new in-ears in, and we'll be back in. But yeah, I love what they're putting together. It seems like they are ready to work with each other, because this is a composition that, you know, Aspas can go off, but it takes this utility here to open that space, the right walls, the right smokes, good comms there to make it happen. And I actually like the composition they've put together, that Gecko, the Sky, almost a trickery in the flashes. Right now that Sky Flash has to go off. If you do let it go long, let it go long, because you're going to throw Dizzy in the front. Which way your opponent? Where are they going to turn? So you're almost always blind here. You almost get the same with a Haunt and Dizzy as well. There's 2 things in the air. It becomes impossible to shoot.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great point, because with the nerfs that you've gotten from Sky most recently, it's trying to figure out like pretty much how you want to rework your compositions. I mean, even Zix at some point had that discussion. I mean, they had to throw their whole strat book out the window because they had so many maps and reps under that Sky. And even if you're looking at their composition right now within Bind, and just to give you a reminder, chat, because we're still looking here at the stage currently with the tech pause, it's a Gecko, a Raze, a Brimstone, a Viper, and a Fade. So ways to try to find that information on Sky Flashes at the beginning of the rounds. You could do it with Boostio on that Gecko, or you could do it with the Fade Haunt. On the other end, though, here for Leviathan, they'll still keep the Sky, but potentially with how Khan's been flanking, maybe leverage more the Gecko to get that early information.
That's true. I'm trying to think, it's a little harder to throw the Trick Flash and grab it right away. You definitely have to fight for it. But these guys have been behind each other the whole time. So it wouldn't matter. That flash is thrown, they are peeking with it. We've had forward movement here from Lev just about every single round. And we'll see if it happens for the bonus as well. They are going to carry some of those Phantoms over. We did see from the second round that we saw Aspas and Mazzino picking up. And now we're about to get back into game. We are into your bonus here for Lev versus 100 Thieves. Thank you for your patience. Let's get this action back underway.
Yep.
So there's that push. A little bit out of B-Long for Boostio, and you can see the setup for Lev. They are just waiting to crash here on the A.
The HOD's being used on the A side for the showers, but yeah, here comes the crash. Asuna on the top of the APC though, scores first as Mazino falls. And with the Molly trying to push them back, Cryo playing the off angle, gets that pick onto Aspas too. A 2-player advantage out for the Thieves to start things off. In the state of the game too, looking at the Thieves, it's a gun round versus the bonus of Leviathan, who, I mean, you still look on their side, they still have a very strong buy. 2 rifles and a Bulldog to work together. These 3 trying to cut the noise and rescale back towards showers.
Great timing on the wall from B going through teleporter. You can almost see how they also want to play that hunt through the wall early in the round. And here we have a push through showers.
Good for that first one. Almost lined up the second, but at least the information's there. Big flash for a double swing. And Boostio and Oscar both there to greet them. Not affected by the flash. 100 Thieves. They actually get their gun round in with only 1 player lost.
Exactly, that's big. Looked very cool and calm throughout that situation. Even when they were getting hit, it seemed like 100 Thieves remembered the first 2 rounds. Leviathan's trying to squeeze somebody into U-Haul all the time. Bangs or Cryo's ready for that right away. You know, they expect that U-Haul hit to come in. Found it, and that just made it easier for the rest of the site to be closed down and Leviathan to have to choose hit number 2 through showers, which did not work. Still looking to gain space towards A. They have some money to buy, so we still have a gun round here. We'll see the first. So this is actually one of the first throw-ups that Tex will use for Dizzy and be able to get it back or throw out a mosh pit.
Mosh lineup actually here to start things off in the back. So this is great, adding that pressure towards the front. Like a Crowler running back.
Oh, so close.
Flash too. So that time he could have blown to pieces. Wow. But thankfully it's open, and the Thrash even on top of that to clear out the site. And even towards showers. So this allows the King to even get a late lurk once we get a plant now for Leviathan towards this A site.
There it is. Wingman in, pick back up. Great defensive positioning all around. Just at the borders of the site. 100 Thieves is trying to get in.
Aspas got hit. Or at least one of the Prowlers, but still gets the Asuna back run out. Trying to go for a temper trade out from the heaven side, but he still stays alive, and this is looking grim here for 100 Thieves for the comeback. Cobb once again, that's super late, watching that flank. EU now the last player standing, only has a Guardian to work with. It might be a Guardian that he might try to upgrade now within the pipes, as you see the pings on the weapons. Early TP as well. Yeah, Leviathan does not want to allow EU to save his weapon at all. I mean, it just gave it all up.
Wow, just the positioning, the push up there from Aspas, how fast that Leviathan scaled through the site. You give him a little more credit than his, but he basically held off 4 people. The smoke went down, shot 2 through the smoke, 1 more was in vent, and EU didn't want to peek from heaven because Aspas was right under it. Literally holding off just about the entire team 100 Thieves there with a few shots. And they are looking solid. Here we go, a few more frags coming from the side of Leviathan as they pull it back into their favor. A little bit of a low armor buy here for 100 Thieves as they still keep some weapons on the board. And now they're going to try for that shower push and long push again here to see if they can get the early information we talked about in the beginning.
One thing that Zix could do here is bring the objective base to the team, something that EG's been doing a lot. And look at that instant smoke push out towards the orb, get the showstopper for Asuna. So going into this mix of a bind around the rifle that was saved in that previous round for EU, half armor for a few. But they have a great opportunity now to just play the time in their favor and even fall back if they need to.
I want to talk about quick how awesome that mosh pit from Boostio, or I'm sorry, from Tex was last round, predicting that cryocells would back out of U-Haul once they flashed it, because they've been putting a member of Leviathan there almost every round. So of course Cryo's going to be there, just playing off the slight things they're making as a precedent here, and almost catching cryocells off of that play that they structured. Really cool stuff that these teams are trying to put into the work here.
Structuring good calls, and King always one step ahead of his opponents. Already with a dog coming out, spotting Boostio in the corner, so they know there's at least one of those ults available playing towards that B site. So Leviathan are pulling back here with that fake info to try to work towards this A site. But it seems that Asuna's reading into this. He's already pivoted towards the top of the A heaven.
Still on the 3-2. Great. Just anchoring throughout the round to 30 seconds, and 100 Thieves still have regular holes on the sights as it's going to be the hit from Leviathan again up short A.
There's the showstopper on both ends. Big flash coming out. Everybody's blinded, but we have an instant trade in the back of the site. Plant denied. Good spray coming through as he was trying to get done behind a cascade. Only 10 seconds left. Nightfall out too. Spike now has to get picked up. Hit by a Seize as Cryo's getting that pick onto Calm. Now a couple are hit here by that. Hitting is out. It takes Lights Out too, but there's no time left. 100 Thieves will get the round.
Oh my chaos. I feel like Lev got themselves into a bit of trouble with the amount of smokes that went down there as well. Cut off the team from helping Aspas when he got so far forward, and that showstopper didn't connect, but that's 100 Thieves realizing now is our go button. Then they trade back a showstopper of their own and just continue to get through this. What Tex laid down real quick. Whoa. What a round to go down to time. Tex was starting to heat up there, and yeah, they'll pick up another 100 Thieves. Reset the money again, but it's not going to hurt too much. There's still enough on the board for the buys to come through. It's just going to get real sticky soon if we keep going back and forth in rounds. Nobody's going to have any money. Haunt forward, 100 Thieves each round trying to gain a little bit of information off of something. And a fast push up towards long here to resup on that ultimate for Aspas. It's the first time I think we've seen Leviathan kind of not present themselves for a fight right away. They're okay with getting Aspas's ult back up, seeing 100 Thieves will make a move first.
Because Reckoning could also be so suffocating towards this B side there.
Very true.
Trying to gamble and lean here on this B side, and when the Reckoning comes out, I already saw like this Mosh ready, a Molly already out ready on the other hand for Cryocells. They're just ready to try to deny. Not allow here Leviathan to move in within that Reckoning with 40 seconds left on the clock.
Cryo's first orbital strike maybe on that Brimstone.
There's that Molly at the entrance, but two players slip through. Dizzy being thrown towards the air. Lucio trying to stay alive. Support coming out. Big splash though as Bang gets picked off. Last boss with the third within the round. Attempt for denies, but Leviathan did such a great job entering towards the site. Plant then comes down, courtesy of Wingman, and there's only two players left for the Thieves. Slight attempt though. Aspas trying to spray first, trying to catch some players off wall bangs. Aspas with the off angle within that B cubby. And there's that first swing out from EU. From Mazzino at the Garden. With one player left, the satchel even didn't work for Austin. Try to save his weapon 4 in the round for the superstar of Aspas as Leviathan put 4 on the board.
Still Aspas. Wait, he was at 2 all points when he grabbed that one at Long B, and now he's 1 off. They go back to Long B and they'll have Showstopper again. Just giving themselves ways to win these rounds other than a straight up fight. And look at this, just the movement inside. The rest, 100 Thieves, could not hide from the situation. Remember, they had the Brimstone ult too, so they couldn't even get the Brimstone ult activated. They were not expecting the power of this hit to come through so quick.
Came out with that timing of that flash too. Oh, yeah. If that hookah wasn't blinded, that would have been some big kills from Bang.
The timing on that was crazy. We will have a timeout for the Thieves. Pretty low on funds here, so it looks like they're trying to figure out how they would like to work this round and then going forward into the gun. So they'll take the time here. Try and stave off too much of a loss here. Try to drop some weapons for Leviathan. And it's 4-2. I did not expect it to go back and forth as much, especially with the way we saw Leviathan starting, hitting the site so hard. But 100 Thieves is adapting well. It seems to be coming down to those post plants now. If Leviathan's getting the spike down, it's just too much of a defensive positioning for 100 Thieves to take it back, it seems. Here towards B again. I think they go for the orb, but they also have Extremity Watch on Shower.
The synergy is there for Leviathan for these executions. Right now it's...
Let's see how it goes.
Trying to get something to work with these shares potentially as well. Cryocells trying to watch it from that U-Haul. Very passive look right now. So the objective of the orbs are not necessarily there yet on that B side, but after that late timing and seeing no early pressure out of Leviathan on that A side, we did push forward here for 100 Thieves to grab that orb in Showers.
Poison's off.
So this just kind of delays everything. Walls are down. They know no movements are made, and I don't think 100 Thieves really wants to be the first one to take a peek. Look at the contacts and crossfires they have, right? It's just staying still, little left and right, AD, just to make sure you aren't fully standing still. So Leviathan is now up to them to make that move. they have actually gotten a little bit of early movement out of 100 Thieves that has allowed the Leviathan to knowingly want to go that direction.
Yeah.
Here it's a game of just hide and seek.
This might be it right there, though. That dog from Calm is going to get a lot of information.
Absolutely.
The snake bite, and then seeing that get stopped right away. Leviathan are now pushing forward towards the A side. Do you think there's going to be a gamble? A great read on that pivot for Leviathan to finish now towards an open site. After the high tide, we already have EU falling back towards heaven. Free plant.
Smooth round. It's really neat to see how actually cautious Leviathan is coming out of 100 Thieves timeout, thinking that they were going to try something pretty crazy. It is just Sheriffs on their side, but what a cautious round right now for Leviathan. I haven't seen it this slow just yet.
This is big. The objective now is just to get rid of this lurker right here. Calm out towards the palm tree at short. He went head-to-head against Boostio before, and this time Krau's trying to move in even towards the attacker spawn, and he gets denied the opportunity to do so. Then a deep flash, huge information, contact on information. Flip that wall bang too. This guy is why we have a champion in XEG in the past. Boostio at least is able to get one for his troubles, but you know at the end of the day, the round still comes in for Leviathan.
Aspas ultimate there. Calm's ultimate coming up on that kill situation as well. Leviathan, a lot of things on the board here to keep 100 Thieves down. So what is their objective? What can they do? Not too many ultimates even online. Krau's had this orbital strike for quite a while. And I bet they're hoping that Lev would go back to this U-Haul play so he can just make a toaster out of U-Haul. But it is not happening. Leviathan seems to be staying in the open, really working the Viper and the Harbor well to get the walls and the quadrants they want to fight in their favor. Moving through, you see a smile on Aspas's face. He's feeling good.
Yeah.
Coming back with a scoreline like this. Like we said, those ults online. Boostio grabs an op right now, so they're going to try to stop this fast play with hard angle holds on that operator.
It's already difficult because you have an orb in the front of him. Snake bite being thrown by King. Now even the Seeker is on top. Huge explosion in towards that B side. You have to give it up now. Meanwhile, the TP's forced out, so the Yacht cannot support anything at all towards this B area. Gonna get a flash now through the high tide. Bang was able to turn away, but instantly two players ran through it. Mazina was able to pick him off. Now Asuna has to go for the hero play. No utility to help him out. Has to try to line up two players on a high-low. One crouch. Gets that first one to Calm. Beautifully done on those fundamentals now for Leviathan. 100 Thieves trying to fight back out towards the spawn. Pushing out from both angles. It's all up to EU. 1 versus 2. Low HP at 11. And he's going to decide to live to fight another day. Attempt to save this Phantom. Up out of sight. It's going to be expensive in the next round now for the Thieves.
Oh, that was close. That was close. Aspas picking it up, though. Throwing one out for the homies. All right, the way Leviathan engulfed B there and actually got into the back, we saw how hard it was just for Bang. It looked like Bang was actually on the attack side for a second, and Leviathan was coming from the defensive side. That's how fast they're getting to the back line and just reaggressing. See it one more time here. It's just coming from the defensive side. It's crazy. And then the cleanup. Leviathan. A few slow rounds, a few quick rounds. It does not seem like there is an opening frag or an answer that 100 Thieves is able to get to really shred the numbers of Leviathan. Here they're going for a death ball down B. So look and pick up a gun and maybe work at the other side of the map, but Extremity here is held. Nobody's going to get too far on that.
Yeah, it looks like the idea was just to look into the fountain and not look too deep so they could guarantee at least another orb and just continue to stack within the B side for Leviathan. On their side, the only thing they know is that they heard an orb being picked up. Switch back towards the hookah. Boostio does get the first kill there onto Tex.
He goes back. You can see him on the screen too, calling a few more. So the team is realizing Boostio comes up again. Van Silly putting himself out there.
Wingman being thrown just to try to see if somebody's going to jump out the window. Yeah. And with those two share shots, look at that rotate from 100 Thieves. They're gambling that they might be for Leviathan to think, oh, there's probably a stack towards the B side, walk back towards A. But for Lev, a wall contact within B. Boostio once again. Had get the crosshair, but Calm crouched under that
30 seconds
to get
left.
that pick, and it opens up the site. Bang, though, still with the support. Answers right back, and that's a weapon picked up.
Playing it so patient right now. There's so much util to get back in here.
They got the numbers to work with, and now Bang just got caught with utility in his hands. Spazino pushing towards the spawn, and with the Reckoning out too, but EU just gets the pick. Aspas has been hot so far in this first map. Avoiding the shots with the satchel. Here comes Asuna from behind. Well done to create the space left while to swing out. And 100 Thieves will be able to get a Thrifty in round number 9.
A huge Thrifty coming in, starting off with the IGL fans I just mentioned. A lot of these rounds, Leviathan is not taking any casualties as they get into the site, and 100 Thieves is having a hard time on the post plant. Well, how about dropping 2 with a Sheriff, and then having Bang come and get another one with a Sheriff? What a return on the investment here.
Seconds left.
For just a Sheriff round. Really well done. Leviathan still has a lot of money to work with, but that round is going to big help the mental of 100 Thieves here moving forward. We're only 6-3. We could easily have a 6-6 half here.
Let's go.
We have guns back on the board. The ultimates are finally up here for 100 Thieves. It seems like it's been forever. And we'll see how they can fold these over into a few rounds. Denial of Long B right away, knowing that orb has been something that Leviathan want, but also that positioning in general. And it looks like they still will go towards B here, giving up the extremities of A. They're just going to lurk around Sands to see if they get a push. And maybe they hit through Hookah, knowing that you're going to have Bang at long. Yeah, sure. But if you have sight, you have B sight.
Yeah, there's going to be huge games coming in right now because you have a Thrash available to go in and push out Bang away from the pit, and Lucio's doing the same thing for the back of the B site. Now repositioning towards the left side to get these first 2 kills. And then he will onto Aspas, Dizzy towards the air, the battle down towards Sands, and Tex instantly is the last player remaining now for Leviathan. Picking up an orb here. Just trying to do the damage, but it's going to be very difficult now that the rest of 100 Thieves has come through, even with the wall. Listen, a spray through the smoke from Cryo.
Boostio, the only one going down. Himself getting 5 kills in the last 2 rounds, though. So, yeah, he got his, if you were wondering. The operator now for Boostio here, and now the low buy. They have just gone through the economy of Leviathan. It took a bit of work, but they're finally here. Like I said, it could easily be a 6-6, especially now. The confidence. And it was B again, a different setup for 100 Thieves. For Leviathan to look at. Boostio in just a different positioning, playing defense instead of up in their face in Hookah and then long B. It's the little switches 100 Thieves is finding that is getting under the skin of Leviathan here on the aggression.
An early gamble with a showstopper towards Sands, and now that's going to press Leviathan to work towards U-Haul.
This is pretty aggro. They've got the space. Can they hold it?
Nightfall already out, pushing out for it. All the shots didn't connect. Thought they hit.
Oh my gosh!
Denied. At least the Thrash is there. 3 kills coming up. Boostio getting the op kill onto Calm, trying to find control space towards the back of the site. The Dink with the shorty. Asta with the support, trying to spray through the triple that misses. But unfortunately, it's a snake fight from King. That drops Boostio. Here's the rest of 100 Thieves. Aspas alone, only with the Guardian now. Knows that one player's towards the back of short A. The Jinder with the headshot. The second one denied by Bang. As they're one round away of tying it up against Leviathan.
Oh, so many times is Bang left alone in those situations, and he is able to come out on top. Traps the operator, brings that back to Boostio. And 100 Thieves once again deny the planet, win the round. It seems that is the goal right now for 100 Thieves. Anything less, and Leviathan run away with it. Oh, that first shot, it made you wonder. But Bang's there. What are you thinking? We got this. All right.
Just saw it after 2. I was like, okay, I got that kill, but oh wait, where's the op? I gotta find it right away. And at least it picked it up. Boostio's already positioned now towards Long B. As for Leviathan for the last round of the half, they were looking for that early pressure, trying to catch some players off guard towards Showers. But now we finally see a slower default, but still controlled towards the A side for Leviathan.
100 Thieves now 4-4 on rounds. They get the first kill. It's just too much for Lev to keep a sight. A man down. Short A is the play. Harbor Wall already used. A little bit of a different look here from Leviathan.
Exactly. Split out the site, control the front. They have a pit to work with for the pulse plant in Leviathan. Showstopper, screen out of space, and somehow it lands right at the feet of Cryo Asuna inside U-Haul. There's that pit coming up. The plant will be safe at a default spot, thanks to Wingman. Boostio, Bang, and EU have to work together now. Already one creeping in. It's EU within that pit, trying to find a timing, but gets greeted by Mazzino with the backstab. Up torch showers. Nice spray from Boostio, though, and that's the killer down. Aspas has fallen. And they try to find some space inside. Dizzy being thrown out from Tex as well. Mazzino again. Another flank. Be difficult for Bang. Alone now, Shorty in the sight. And Kang stops it, and Leviathan finishes the half with the lead by 2.
Took him a bit, took those ultimates getting into the sight with Aspas on the forefront of that being the spear of the hit. But yeah, 100 Thieves did exactly what they needed to bring it back from the brink there, figuring out what the hits were looking like at B. Big props to Boostio adding the IGL, but also huge fragger in these rounds to keep them in a bit of the W situation coming to the second half.
Yeah, very well done here by Aspas. As you can see, this man with a new team still looks very comfortable in his role as an entry fragger.
Scary.
Everything's hitting from shots to rockets. But at least now, with the halftime, we could toss it to Liz, who's standing by with Boostio's biggest fan.
And Boostio's biggest fan is Boostio's father, also known as Boostio Dad. Yes, give it up for Boostio's father. All right. Now, it's a tight game right now. How are the emotions? How's the adrenaline? How are you feeling?
I'm very nervous and excited, or nerk-excited.
Nerk-excited. I love a new vocabulary word. Write that down. Clip that. Now, I have to ask you, your son was entrusted to lead a team last year, brought them to a world championship, and now he's been entrusted to lead an entire new group of people again. When he was like growing up, little Boostio, little guy, did you see those leadership qualities in him?
Yes, I would say that I haven't taught him anything. He's self-taught, but we gave him the environment of he would see our family and friends come over to do LAN, Quake, and Doom, and those kind of FPS games. And so he took it from there, and he's just done fantastic.
He has done fantastic. A literal world champion leading an incredible team on this stage. And now I also want to ask you that there may be a parent or a kid watching who might want to be pro, or a parent of a kid who might want to go pro. You are a parent of a pro. Do you have any advice for them? Any words of wisdom?
Yes, I would say stay in school. It's very important. We made sure he graduated from high school. And
good work, Boostio. Good work.
But we gave him the time and the support to pursue his dream in gaming. And so it worked out, and it takes a lot of luck, but keep persevering and you could make it.
And when you're as good as Boostio, I think he waved. I have to ask you one last question. The hair, the gecko green. What are we thinking? Thoughts? Do we like it? Do we wish you went a different color?
Personally, not a fan, but I love that he just goes for everything, and he's himself.
In game and out of game. Well, thank you so much, and best luck to Boostio. And casters, it is back to you.
Thank you very much, Liz and Boostio's dad. And indeed, that's what I like. I mean, great support from esports parents. Whatever Boostio wants to do, as long as the mind is there and he does what he needs to do, that's important. Hell, do whatever the hell you want. Become a world champion in Valorant and now lead this team, potentially, hopefully, to close out Bind right now.
Quick spill on stage, I believe. We're going to get this cleaned up. Was that calm? Is that a world champion spill? Oh, my. Okay. All right.
You don't see a chat, but at the same time, Boostio just stood up to like a calm, and Calm just shook his head.
They're going to have to get the Calm parental interview now.
Yeah,
see how messy he was as a kid.
Playing mind games.
Oh, it's on the fans of the PC. But look how sturdy that PC is. It just took a hit of water. Oh, my.
And it's still working. That's why we got iBuyPower this year.
Exactly. And you buy the safety of the PC. Boom! Look at that.
But yeah, you inside on the shots from Boostio. He said he was nice with it when we panned the camera right at his face. Still very confident. It looked like a battle from that first half. The 100 Thieves are still trying to find that groove. I mean, it's still a composition that they haven't really played against. If you're looking at Leviathan's side, they never really pulled out any compositions or played Bind throughout the offseason, so this is new for them. So uphill battle, learning here for 100 Thieves. Pistol round now underway on the second half with Thieves now on the attack. The Thieves on a 2-1-2, just trying to see if Leviathan's going for the aggression, and they are. There's that first shot from Aspas, and the game leader from 100 Thieves falls.
All right. Are they on attack or are they on defense? You have to wonder. Aspas just right out of the gate, pressing W, goes onto the side, 100 Thieves to find 2.
Satchel on the top. Asuna is trying to find that space back within the A site just to answer.
All right.
It works out. But look at this. This is all a ruse. Still 2 players from the, should I say the spike alone from the 100 Thieves are moving towards the B site for the plant, while the other ones create a diversion, get these picked, even it up, and get a pulse plant opportunity in the B site.
Bring around the Rosie. And yeah, Lev is left wondering which way they have to go. Now back towards B. They're gonna find a quick haunt.
Oh, huge tease there. That's 2. The nades out. But we hide around or behind the wall, and Aspas and Mazzino stays alive for a bit. But look at the positioning from the others. Now the bubble comes out. Aspas made it through. And Aspas alive, but the Sheriff could still be very scary.
Wait a minute.
Tapping on the spike. The map's been flipped.
Surely
There's the
not.
contact on the 2 players as Cryo and Asuna are working together within the tin. Aspas looking to reposition. They know now there's no tap on the spike, but at least there's that kill. 1 more to go here for Aspas, who does get the DI by Power Ace, but it's gonna be too late. Does that count? Does that count for a free computer?
Ooh, does not. The Ace actually has to come out with the win, with the defuse. But still, nice 5 frags. That's how it works. 7-6 here. Aspas able to get the frags, able to get that showstopper near online. But that is going to be around for 100 Thieves coming out strong. A good delay there as well. Once they realized they weren't finding him, they said, okay, let's ourselves hide then if he's not going to defuse. Because they did not want to feel that wrath. Like you said here, what a sick setup, and just tongue them into a seize, into a nade through the smoke and the hunt. And the finalizing of the kill, but not the round.
Well, you like those stats no matter what. Already within the action booster with the Sheriff. Aspas falls. I'm going to love the Sheriff battle that we have back and forth between these 2 teams. Orb, though, did get stolen away as Busio continues his reign. And that's just him with the Sheriff. There's a gun round around this for 100 Thieves. They got rifles to work, but he doesn't care. He's going in for a 3rd. There's the hat trick. Cryo Cells opens up towards the elbow.
You did good.
Even 100 Thieves are looking for the flawless. Letting the wingman to plant. Dancing with the wingman. Busio cosplaying within the map of Vine.
He knows. He knows. He's playing crowd favor right now. That's awesome. Another round here. 7-7 as we're going to get tied up. King looking for a few on the exit. And next round is the one we look at the defensive side here a little bit more. Yeah, Aspas has been aggressive. They've gotten some early frags on pistol rounds. Nothing on this one, a flawless, but what will they have in store for round number 3? Hello. So they have an idea now. They can all exit out if they want to get that kill, but it looks like they're going to be happy to let King run into the spike. Oh no! Bustio.
I'm okay with this.
Yeah. Now he's 1 away from all.
Something very similar that we saw yesterday. Give the weaker weapon now to the player that has the weakest buy. Busio at that point with the Sheriff. He could chase the kill. If he dies, it's only a stinger that you give on the other side, where Leviathan was going to upgrade to weapons no matter what. Perfect. So now you have an opportunity for Busio to keep working his ultimate orbs. So him getting that pick, he's already one away from a Thrash. And that could be the next objective here for 100 Thieves.
You see that flash at long, right? That I think King went down to it first. Like having Dizzy thrown from the other side of Fountain, you're not really hearing that until it's right here. You're not really hearing it till it gets close, then you're basically blind once it hits you. It's just a faint kind of radar ping that you're hearing. So a lot of times it can catch you off guard. Your comm was just out of range. They won't get any trades through the smoke, but you can see walls on both sides here. Look at that. And there 100 Thieves wall going through the portal as well.
Quite interesting. Whew. Well, ult is ready, but only for the next round as Calm gets the spray within the smoke.
Yep.
Busio falls. Snow will be able to pick up the orb at least.
So Sands push is going to be big. They have to wait a little bit of time for Hookah to be taken if this is actually their move.
Toxins going up.
This means EU watches flank for a second and they go back in, or is this actually going to be a fake hit teleport? I feel like that's a little too drastic.
Well, they're going to stop themselves in their track with Leviathan. Those nades didn't go deep enough as they were trying to go for a flash through. It's a surprise play.
A nice little prediction there for 100 Thieves to back off. And Lev wonders if someone's still there, but do not get the information they were hoping, and they're calm.
30 seconds left.
Just quick peek, gets a little bit of it, and knows that hit could still come B.
King is now forced to play in front of those snake bites being thrown on the ground. Still gets that pick off onto Asta. Bang then drops out to get the trade. Late push out from Hookah coming out from EU as Aspas still stays alive with the pin. Calm Dancer right back and that spike down. 10 seconds left on the clock. Nice little push out from Calm. As that's also going to calm down the round.
Oh.
No time left, no matter what. EU just wanted to die so they could buy at least their gun round in the next, and Leviathan, they maintain their lead.
That last little peek from Calm doing great things to help pull the round in their favor and not over-rotate out of the sight. Good anchoring so far by Leviathan here. King with the first few frags as they just crossfire the rest. Coming into the site. Look at this. Calm like a bomb. Easy peasy.
Timings you have from Calm, it doesn't always have to be towards the flanks. I mean, this kid has been so good with all of these timings since champion.
Oh, yeah. He really reads in the mind of his opponent. Round after round, you can see it get a little bit better. Quick cascade forward. U-Haul is going to be the idea for this one. A hit coming in from 100 Thieves.
Monsters on the loose. Busio is trying to create some space, but Aspas is there now after 2 kills in the showstopper. The hat trick answered back by EU. And Asta just got hit. He got hit by his own teammates.
Yeah.
I'm out.
Wondering what the gun round would look like from Lev. They feel a lot more comfortable here just being able to set up the contact crossfires. Not too much util going back out towards 100 Thieves. They're just able to deny these flashes, turn back, tearing down their opponent here. It's kind of contact play. There's a lot of smokes and everything, but where's the flash? Where's the dizzy that comes out of that, right? Either it came out early and they waited to step out, or they didn't come out together, right? Aspas just says 1, 2, 3. Thank you very much.
Now running reps. They're doing the same execution. Mosh being thrown here towards the back of the showers as we try to spray across with the lower buy that we have for 100 Thieves to take control of U-Haul. Pain Shells pushes Fazino away. EU trying to lurk within showers but couldn't get that pick. Aspas with the support from the back of the site, and the half buy doesn't pay off for 100 Thieves. Leviathan takes the lead by 3.
Man, well, Leviathan understands that it is a low buy or they have a bit of an advantage in the round. They clamp down and just become so confident and so quick. That one ending very fast as 100 Thieves was in, and Lev made sure to push him out. Big ults to be used here, though. Asuna can definitely clear some space right around with Boostio and EU if they get that opening of utility. And we'll see this one. Clearing from the back. Again, we didn't expect too much util on this one, but I hope to see some more on those next hits.
Aspas doesn't even need to op, just rifling around, getting showstoppers out. 24 kills on the board. Leviathan again in the lead, trying to look for that pressure. Outside of a trap play.
Big push.
From showers, yeah. Bang was trying to find that information again, but he got a little bit too far and got denied right away.
Spike down B.
It's looking grim here for 100 Thieves. And everything that they're trying to do within this round is just sprays through walls, through smokes, cascade, even to block the vision of Asuna. Finally, Cryo is able to do something in return. Low HP. Seeker is available for Calm. Just to confirm, the last 2 players of the Thieves are inside this B site. Tap on the spike. Trying to get Tex, flush him out, but both Tex and Aspas are working together for the last 2 kills.
Lev get away with 3, and you gotta ask, where was the showstopper? Where was anything there? Walking into sight and playing contact can be what you want. It can get you great space, but when you have the chance to take the space with the showstopper, you're 7-11 now. You don't have rounds to chance things. Take the space with the utility you have. I feel like that's a mistake that we did not see the ultimates there from 100 Thieves. And they give up another round now, 1 away from it being game point for Leviathan here. So happy to just stay and defend the site. Leviathan pick up another one towards B, and they've now held A and B confidently. And it will call 100 Thieves timeout now to see how these ults can be used, where they might be able to focus, and what these pushes are going to be doing for Leviathan, because we saw that push from showers come out. 100 Thieves saw it. They know Leviathan's active right now. What are they going to do to react, right?
Yeah. It's definitely difficult right now for 100 Thieves, because we talked about now this man right here, Zix, just on a previous shot. A coach here that could bring that change of pace for the Thieves. When they tried to go fast, got denied right away by Aspas. When they tried to go slow, denied by Aspas. So
it's very true.
We got to try to figure out how we could actually push Aspas away, because he's in these positions that seems to not be checked every single time. So you got to give props as well. We mentioned how King is always one step ahead of everybody else. And
absolutely.
He's at 5 and 10 for King, and it doesn't matter if he's at the bottom of the board, if he's going to call it perfectly to know where Aspas needs to be.
Exactly. Assist daddy in calls and assists. Aspas now with the Outlaw in this round. Probably has an Arsenal next to him. No, actually, just a buy or so. Has that from last. So yeah, he's going to be rocking with the Outlaw.
What's that fun with it? Early orbital strike. There's the showstopper out. Clear as everybody. Everyone's playing so far front, but at least the cavalry is there to support for 100 Thieves, just to get the pick after the information. They got it, chat. They got it. 2 players left. Aspas looking to play with the Outlaw. The timing on that spell coming down did get a tap onto Boostio. But the advantage still rings 400 Thieves. Despite playing at a default spot, 3-player advantage. For Aspas and King falling back, upgrading to the Phantom. They're just maybe not allowing 100 Thieves to escape towards the back of spawn.
They're just waiting. Aspas looking to rack up some more kills. King getting that frag, taking it from him. Aspas currently for this season has the most at 29. And guess who holds that max kills for the season? It's King at 35. So really funny to see King actually take that one as we're coming to it. What a round here. 100 Thieves to come in. They push back. Yeah, we get Lev on the save and the spike to go in, but it took a lot. It took those ultimates. So can 100 Thieves do this now without the showstopper? Can they get Thrash right away? Make sure that they get into sight. If Plant from Wingman gives Thrash as well, they can go for the post plant. It is going to be a Reckoning retake, though, so 100 Thieves needs to stay spread out in positions where they can play safely.
Yeah. At least for now, they want to look to fight it for Leviathan before playing that retake. Aspas is already on the top of the APC. There's that first blood once again. Asuna falls. Pain shells now towards
He makes it out.
Does make it out. Has support still within this A site. Cryo finally pushes across.
Oh yeah!
Aspas still does have the showstopper to work with, and just before Mazino fell, the Reckoning did come out. But let's say we're playing it safer for Leviathan. Falling back to get the heal up to Aspas. He's gonna try to get the re-hit here. Com still has 2 flashes to work with to support the showstopper re-entry. There's that contact on the first one on the bench off that flash. Second Thrash coming out now for Boostio. Oh, it does get the hit. That's gonna slow things down. 2 players hit by that and detained, so you definitely know this is gonna be a save. But for Boostio, pushing forward to try to get the hit, the Haunt to get the information. And they're keeping him towards the back of the spawn. There's the TP across. Well done by Boostio once again. Calm, solo in the back of the spawn, at least gets the 2. Boostio and EU fall. The 100 Thieves are closing that gap once again.
Whew. A quick 2 rounds for 100 Thieves. They snap back when needed. And most necessary at this point. It seemed like it was getting a little dark in that corner, but the light starts to shine. They have another ultimate to be used here. Great focus on getting Thrash for last round. And the fact that they've been able to fold over these last few rounds, Leviathan feels a bit of pressure there, and they will call the timeout to see how they can organize getting themselves the win. See the replay of Com just picking up a few more. Doesn't really put him too close to ultimate. So you can see how hype Boostio is getting here. As it seems like 100 Thieves is coming online a bit more throughout the match for sure. It seemed like Leviathan had a bit of run of the map. They go where they want. They were taking what they want, and now 100 Thieves starting to punch back.
Boostio mentioned there when we had a chance to see a video of him talking about the team and what he brings to the team is that confidence, being loud, and you could definitely see it from that previous round. They just really pushed towards the spawn, instant TP to even pinch in from towards the B site. So it's for them, it's not the discipline of trying to save the economy, save the weapons. It's just fight through. It doesn't matter how many rounds under we are against our opponents. We can always fight back here and tie up the game, maybe even win the map. He's done it before here, and he wants to do it with this roster of 100 Thieves.
Aspas dropping the 30 back on a showstopper, and those have been deadly for 100 Thieves. If they can avoid that as well as Thrash, looking good this round. shower push, it seems like, or at least a shower dizzy and a push toward long B here to start things off.
For the Thieves, it's just trying to see, playing a little bit further back if there's any trap plays coming through and staying behind the wall. Heard the dog coming through to TP, so they want to fight back. There's a showstopper. It doesn't hit anybody yet. Just back and forth on these trades to start things off towards the long B. Aspas still playing the off angle, forced to fall back, almost caught one. As they're trying to move forward, King's there to support. The bait and switch to get Bang and Bustio down. Only 2 players left for 100 Thieves within this round. The Nightfall came out to get some information, but we're not pushing in 400 Thieves. They just want to make sure we clear towards the back of the site before. They're gonna have to play the post plant hold if you want to. Oh, nice. On inside the window, does get the hit onto King, so King is forced to play the off angle, allowing Cryocells to get the push forward. Following the tethers, and King's just dancing left and right. You looking to answer back, denied! And when King needs to step up to fight, he will, as Leviathan will get 12 on the board, and they'll get map point.
But Crown is always shining on his head, honestly. The situations he gets put in, he will always come out on top. He has that name for a reason. And this, again, getting it, the double dink there, hit through the wall, just a fade away, headshots coming in from the Phantom. And that's the kind of stuff you expect from King. It's not like, oh, King had that play. It's like, no, King is doing these things regularly, and that's exactly why he's always receiving praise on Leviathan. Ultimates again. That Viper's Pit is out. Thrash is still there for Tax. Leviathan on game point, and they look to be able to push through here. Last one was a post-plant defuse, so even if 100 Thieves is getting in, it seems like Lev has that answer. So this round, towards B, they're going to meet that Viper's Pit immediately at short A coming from King.
Yeah. Leviathan wants to make it difficult right off the rip.
I mean, why not? Give 100 Thieves something to think about. Make them sweat. Nothing that your opponent does should ever be, you know, in line with what they want to do. You should be forcing your hand, and that's what Leviathan's trying to do here. The Mosh entry, getting a little bit of a lineup here from Bustio, and the team's about to explode in. Expect Austin on the front.
And the flash through the wall, and there's the first contact. People are getting caught with Util, and the Annas are setting up to hit the site. All denied, leaving Bang alone.
I feel like Leviathan just has X-ray vision on these plays. Always set up for the trades, the refrags, and crossfires, and Thrash comes out for Bang!
The assist from the Thrash, Bazino with the pickoff, and Leviathan will take the first map.
Take it very quick, too. I think with 100 Thieves coming back, yes, they grabbed 9, but I feel like those rounds were ones where Leviathan almost dropped the ball. They looked so good. Aspas, the multi-kills, he was able to get 10 first bloods, Van Silly. That actually just ripped a hole in my brain. 10 first bloods? You gotta be joking me.
Yeah, casual 31. It looked easy for him in the fragging department. Of course, when you're looking at that, even that last round that just happened here on his first map of Vine, King one step ahead on the calls. The 5 players of 100 Thieves working towards that long B to look for a lineup execution. And they're like, no, we're just gonna flash through it, catch people off with Util, and then get denied right away. But with that, it's time to step away. And up next, GB and the analyst desk will break down map number 1.
Hey guys, it's Jimmy Lin. In this series, I'm going to walk you through Attack on Pearl. Watch out for the stairs, clear this angle. You're going to be able to fight this.
Red Bull gives you wings.